What's up, Met fans? Welcome back. Talkin Mets with Rob. How's everybody doing? Before I get started talking about Josh Hader to the New York Mets, don't forget, guys, if you enjoyed this video, hit on that like button. If you enjoy all my content, want to see more, want to get notified when I post my videos, and when I go live, you guys know what to do. Hit on that subscribe button, everybody. All right, guys. So why do I think the New York Mets need to go all in on acquiring Josh Hader? A few reasons. Number one, we do not trust Edwin Diaz to close out big games for the New York Mets. Number two, this bullpen is lacking a very good to dominant left-handed arm in that bullpen, especially with the acquisitions of Kyle Schwarber and have Bryce Harper, and you have Matt Olson in the division and Juan Soto in the division. We need that lefty to control those left-handed batters in just the NL East alone. Josh Hader is the guy the Mets need to get, and I'm going to tell you why they need him. I'm going to tell you how they're going to get him. I'm going to give you a trade proposal, show you his stats, and show you his contract to show you why it is the best situation for the New York Mets to do everything they can to get Josh Hader. And that trade proposal will show you why they need to do everything they can to get Josh Hader. So first, guys, we are going to start with his stats for the last couple of years, and we're going to start with 2021. In 2021, he was an all-star, had a 1.23 ERA with 102 strikeouts, only 3 home runs in 58.2 inning, and 34 saves for the Milwaukee Brewers. He had a win-loss percentage of .667, a win-loss of 4-2, and he came in 60 games. That was second most in his career. And that's the one thing we actually worry about before we get into his other stats, is that he came in 232 games in his 5-year career with the Milwaukee Brewers. Not only that, if you look at his innings pitched, he had over 282 innings in his career. So yes, there is some concern with Josh Hader with the amount of miles put on his arm. But looking at last year, in 60 games, he had his best ERA of his career. He had basically 2 points lower than his last year in 2020 at 3.79. And then he consistently had a 2.08, 2.43, 2.62 in 2020, which is a year that I like to throw out when it comes to stats. Not crazy about it. He didn't have a good year, but considering most closers, 3.79, most teams would actually take that. But looking at their ERA of 1.23 and only give up 3 home runs in 58 2/3 innings and had 34 saves in 60 games, there is no doubt about it. If the New York Mets get Josh Hader, there's a pretty good chance that the Mets could be one of the better teams in baseball. Not only with the pitching staff they have, which I believe is the best in the league. You're going to have an extremely solid bullpen with Josh Hader as your big lefty and possible closer, or a guy that can still pitch in the 7th and 8th if the Mets still want to use Edwin Diaz as the closer at the moment. But you can rely on Josh Hader to get lefties out, and basically nobody really can touch him, right-handed or left-handed. So looking at his projected stats for 2022, they increase his ERA quite a lot, actually, which is a little surprising at 3.05. 20 saves, 59 innings with 82 strikeouts. So his strikeouts are going to go up a lot. And considering the amount of innings, it's basically around probably 58 to 59 games. I think his ERA is a little high. I think they're not giving him enough credit. I would actually go around 2.7. I think that's a little bit more fair considering what his career stats look like. I mean, he has a career stat of 2.26 ERA, guys. I mean, that's just outrageous. And I truly think that Josh Hader is one of the best arms in baseball. And that's why the Mets need to get him right now. Moving on to his contract. We always want to know about the contract because most of the time, when you look at his contract, there's a pretty good chance that you'll have an idea of what a team would have to give up to get that type of arm in their bullpen. So looking at his contract, at the age of 28 years old in the 2022 season, he is making $11 million, which is also $11 million that is going against the luxury tax, which again, in the Mets case, it really does not matter because it looks like at some point they're going to go over that fourth tier tax, and it doesn't matter. The Mets are going to probably do that anyway. So $11 million, and then you not only have him for 2022, but he's arbitration eligible in 2023 at the age of 29, which the Mets will guarantee have 2 years of Josh Hader before he's 30 years old. One of the top closers in the game and one of the best relievers in all of baseball. So the Mets would have him for 2 years for $11 million. And if you look what Edwin Diaz got, he got about $800,000 less. And we all can say that Josh Hader is the all-around better closer. So $800,000 more, you get the best closer, one of the best closers in baseball. And Josh Hader's contract is reasonable, and you still have him for 2 more years. So when you see that contract, you know you're going to have to give up a decent amount to get Josh Hader. So what would that trade proposal look like? Well, this is what I have right here, guys. Obviously, the Mets would be getting Josh Hader. The Mets would trade J.D. Davis, the number 3 prospect in Ronnie Mauricio, and number 17 prospect in Thomas Szapucki. Yes, that is a lot to give up, but like I showed you in his contract, you have him for 2 more years at a reasonable rate. The Brewers are not going to give him to you. You're going to have to give up something to get something back. It will hurt a little bit for Ronnie Mauricio, but I still think Ronnie Mauricio is blocked not only by Lindor, but also blocked at third base. And at the moment, he's basically blocked. If the Mets decide to keep Jeff McNeil for a couple more years, Ronnie Mauricio can't play second either. Unless he's going to learn the outfield, there's really not a spot for him. So the best use for Ronnie Mauricio is trade him while his value is skyrocketing. And the Brewers would definitely take a top 3 prospect for Josh Hader. And to sweeten the deal just a little bit more, just to have a little bit more of control of a trade package against other teams that might be going for Hader, throw in Thomas Szapucki, which is the left-hander who could be a starter but most likely going to be a reliever. You give him that left-hander that actually can come up basically this year in the big leagues in the Brewers bullpen right away. And Ronnie Mauricio will probably be up next year. So not only in 2023, you'll have all 3 players, J.D. Davis, Ronnie Mauricio, and Thomas Szapucki, all being in the big leagues. And J.D. Davis is a quality bat that the Brewers could use in their lineup, especially with the injuries that they have in their lineup. J.D. Davis will help out with that, with his bat. So that is a trade proposal that I propose, guys, for Josh Hader. J.D. Davis, Ronnie Mauricio, and Thomas Szapucki for Josh Hader. That is exactly why the Mets should do everything they can to get him. Not only looking at his stats, it will have a little bit over a 2 ERA, but he's still under 30 years old. Yes, he has over 200 plus innings in his career as a closer, but knowing that you have him 2 years before he's 30, still in his prime, the Mets are a win-now team. Josh Hader would make that even more of a possibility and championship aspirations, no doubt about that. Once again, guys, if you enjoyed this video, hit on that like button. If you enjoy my content, want to see more, want to get notified when I post my videos and when I go live, you guys know what to do. Hit on that subscribe button, everybody. Let me know in the comments, guys, what you think of my trade proposal. Do you think it's worth giving up those 3 guys, J.D. Davis, Ronnie Mauricio, and Thomas Szapucki, for the best closer in Major League Baseball? Let me know in the comments, or would you rather have different players going to the Brewers? Let me know in the comments, guys. Really appreciate all the support, guys, and as always, Met fans, let's go Mets.